All right, so we have a very special interview today. Leah, don't look so scared. Why you looking scary?
Scared. You look like we about to go on a roller coaster. No, I'm not.
Joining us today is pro sensual sadist dominant Leezus. Ooh, I think I did good. I deserve a round of applause.
You spit it out.
Say it again one time. I got a little warm and fuzzy when I heard you say it. Say it again one more time.
Pro sensual sadist dominant Leezus, and he is part of the BDSM community. And so we just gonna get straight into it. Tell us what BDSM is. Just start there.
So BDSM is basically power exchange practices. There's a whole bunch of different things that are involved with BDSM. So you have bondage, which typically people see people restraint or anything. D is for dominance, which is like the Christian Grey. He's considered a dominant. S, submissive, slave. Also, S stands for sadist. M, master. Also, it stands for masochist. So you got a lot of people that are in the S and M, sadomasochism. People that like to say.
Yeah, what is a sadist?
What is a sadist?
So a sadist is, okay, perfect example. If I smack you on the ass and I like smacking you on the ass, I'm causing pain. So if I cause pain, it turns me on. That makes me a sadist.
Okay.
On the other end, a masochist is if you're, having intercourse with your significant other and he smacks you on your butt and you turn around and say, yes, daddy. So he smacks you on your butt and you got pleasure from that. So that's a form of being a masochist.
Got you.
So hand in hand, sadomasochism.
Got you.
How long have you been in the BDSM community?
Well, what made you start?
in the community in general for 16 years. I've been practicing BDSM for about 6 years.
But what made you just say, I want to do this?
Well, I started off in the swinger community as an exhibitionist, and I was exposed to a lot of it. I've always been someone that's dominant by nature. Just my presence, being an alpha male, whatever. But then when I saw that there were actual practices doing it, it kind of piqued my interest. And I got approached by a woman and she asked me, was I a dominant? Was I a dom? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Am I like a dominant person? She said, no, are you a dom? Are you a practicing dom? I'm like, had no idea what she was talking about. So I had to go Google it, research, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, so people actually do this like professionally and they do it, like this is a life that they live. So I started researching it. And it's kind of like, how you see the Holy Grail, and you're like, oh. So it was kind of like one of them situations. And it was like hand on glove. I fit, so it was like breathing air and it became natural. So that had me dig into it and start researching it and practicing and all this stuff, started going to conventions and everything. And then I learned how to be a practicing dom.
Is there a university for that, or
Kink University?
So let's start at the Swingers Club.
Yeah, I wanted to go there.
Let's rewind.
He said he was in the swinger community.
So there's like a big swinging community in Philly, or wherever you.
There's a big swinger community where you are. Wow. Everywhere there's a big swingers community. You just have to be in a circuit. So I can find a swingers party from here to Sacramento. Just being in the circuit. So yeah, I started off in the actual swinger lifestyle. Me and my ex, she introduced me, but she was an exhibitionist, so she just liked to be seen. So we would go to a club, 200-300 people, and do our thing in front of the whole crowd.
Now, what did she say to you where you were like, all right, let's try that out?
Well, he's a guy. I mean, come on.
But some guys are not into
but see,
everything.
you think like, you think like this. Everybody.
Say no.
So I'm sure at some point in your life you have this something intimate outside of the bedroom. Maybe when at a park somewhere, or maybe in a club bathroom, or in the car while your significant other is driving. You decide to lean over and be a little naughty. So that's a form of being an exhibitionist. So when you start doing the baseline stuff, and like my hand is under the table at a restaurant and I'm, fondling you in some type of way. eventually you want to start pushing your limits and keep exploring different options and do more risky stuff. And then you get to the point to where, okay, I just want a whole bunch of people to watch me. Let's see how that goes.
So did it start off like that for you and your ex? Like you guys started with the small stuff and then went, or were y'all just like, nah, we gonna just
Well,
go
we
big?
started with the small stuff, but when she saw that I was basically quote unquote with the shits, she said, hey, well, I do have a friend that hosts. She knew about it before. It just took her a little bit to, go out on a limb and say, yeah, you want to go to a party? And I'm like, all right, I didn't think it was that type of party. She was like, well, I know you're open-minded and blah, blah, blah. So it'll be A, B, and C going on. I'm like, really? I'm like, bet. Sign me up. My first party, it was kind of like a lot because I'm looking around like, damn, they are really like, everywhere I looked, there was something going on. I looked up, I looked down, looked behind, everywhere there was something going on. So my first time, it was a little overwhelming, but in me even being a confident person and having done stuff like outside or like in public places, like discreetly, it's a big difference when you're on full display and everybody can see every move that you're making. So the first time was a little just, taking it all in. The second time I was ready to go. I was,
have you ever been
I was
to
like
a
work
swingers
hat on.
club?
No, but what happens if you go limp in the middle of it and you can't get your?
If you what in the middle?
If you go limp and you can't get
that happens. That happens a lot. A lot of people cannot perform in front of other people. That's
Damn,
not
are you
a
shamed
normal
after
thing.
that?
Am I say that again?
Will you be shamed if you just can't finish?
No, I wouldn't. But I mean, because I put in enough work to solidify my reputation in public to where if I have a mishap one time, it's cool.
Okay.
And that's my thing. That's my actual turn on. Like receiving oral in front of a bunch of people and people watching, that is like a turn on to me. That's one of my biggest turn on. So I'm turned on as soon as you touch on my leg, like in public.
I went
I'm
to
like,
a
yeah, let's go.
once.
Really?
Trapeze in Atlanta.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Trapeze in Atlanta. Yes, Trapeze in Atlanta is
It was definitely a lot.
They say that it's not a lot of people of color in those type of environments.
It was.
Maybe in Atlanta, because what you think?
See, what you do, you have to go when someone that is promoting an actual event there. So I promoted in Philly at one of the clubs in Philly, and majority of the time, there's not a lot of people of color. But then when you host a specific event, people come during that time. Like, okay, I'm doing Elegant Fridays. I did an upscale lifestyle party for people of color. I mean, everybody was welcome, but this was a day that there were going to be a bunch of us there. And that's the only time a lot of people would come to the swingers club. Some people don't mind interracial stuff. Some people do.
Naughty?
Unsanitary.
Worse than a strip club?
You said unsanitary?
It just, trapeze, I was green. My homegirls was, like, let's just go. It was late. They stay open late. Bring your own bottle, blah, blah, blah. So I was super green, but it was a lot.
It's not green. It's vanilla.
I was vanilla, green, whatever you want to call it.
Get a corrector, vanilla. She learned the language.
Very vanilla. Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, vanilla. If you don't know anything, you're vanilla. So, Leezus,
yes.
We want to know because we try to, bring up conversations and insight for couples or people who are dating. And so, one, I want to know what's your advice for the vanilla community who might be in a relationship and maybe want to start introducing their mate to some of these things, but they don't know what to say or how to say it.
Well, introducing, so there's different ways. So I would say, like, if you do have the conversation, you say, hey, I want to explore some different sexual avenues. You have to make sure that you know your partner and what they're comfortable with, because you don't want to jump in and say, hey, let's go have a threesome. And she's like, what? What do you mean? I'm not enough for you? That can go completely left.
Well, the same thing for a man too.
Yeah, this the same thing for a man.
You think it's easier to approach a man over a woman in that kind of situation?
Say that again?
You think it would be easier to approach a man versus a woman in that situation? Like, do you see more women? It
depends, because, there's double standards, because if me and you are in a relationship and you approach me to have a threesome with your co-host, I'm like, yeah, sign me up 2 times. If you approach me to have I'm just saying, if you approach me to have a threesome with your producer there, I'm like, so wait, what?
Yeah.
So, it's different. See, maybe I don't care. I have in my lifetime allowed the girl I was dating to sleep with another man. I have allowed that.
In front of you?
I was okay with that. Let me not say I have allowed. Yes, we full swap with the couple, with a married couple.
Okay.
So there's so many different avenues we could so when it comes to swinging, you have your basic me and you are a couple, your co-host and her guy are a couple. We meet up and we switch partners. Simple as that. That's called a full swap. Mm-hmm. Now, if we switch partners and we don't do any penetration, we're just kissing and oral and everything, that's called a soft swap.
All right. So we got to go back. We got to go back. And so a strictly vanilla couple, right? And let's say either the woman or the man or, whatever, they want to see if what their partner would be into, if anything. Like, what's your advice?
Are you asking for yourself or are you asking for a friend?
For a friend.
Communication. Communication. That's what I would say. You talk communication just to see what your partner is open to, what they have done in the past. I would start with what they have done in the past. Like, have you ever, it's just simple to ask, have you ever had a threesome? Because now you're kind of passive. You're passively having a conversation. You're not asking, hey, do you want to have a threesome? Yeah. You're asking, have you ever? So if they have had one, it makes it, the door opens a little bit more. And then if it's like, hey, I've done it like 4 or 5 times, okay, then it's opened a little bit more. You know what I mean? So you want to see what they've done before, because if you ask them to do something they never even thought about doing, and now, y'all are in a relationship and they're looking at you like, wait, what? You want me to do what? Where? So I would always start with seeing what they've done in the past, having that conversation, converse about, past experiences and stuff like that, and then you can kind of lead to, would you do that now? Or, would you be open to that? You can lead it to that way. But once you find out what they've done before, you can kind of bank off of that. Because it's hard for me to ask a woman to be with a woman if she's never even been with a woman ever. And we're in our 40s. And it's like, okay, it's kind of harder for me to approach, hey, would you like to, add a girl to a woman to our situation, as opposed to someone like, oh yeah, I've dated women years ago or so, or like, yeah, I used to have 3. Then it's a little bit more easy to have the conversation about that. So communication, I would always start with what they've done in the past and have that conversation. Just kind of see what their background is. So now what they're open to. At least what they're open to.
So you guys swap with like complete strangers, or is this like something that's planned, or it's the stranger danger part for me?
And the AIDS, and the herpes, and
with us, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah. With us, it was getting to know someone, but it happens with strangers. Most people want it to be strangers because you're going to a club to socially or recreationally have sex. So you don't want the strings attached. You want to go meet someone, vibe, just like you're going to a club and you dance with somebody on a dance floor and you get a number, somebody has a one-night stand. People are going to meet people that they won't see again, have a vibe for that moment and then go play. Now, me personally, with her, we actually would hang out and got to know the people. So it would take us a couple of times before we would play with a couple. We would only play with married couples. We weren't married, but we would only play with a married couple.
Now, what about single people who might want to go to like a BDSM event or a swingers event, and they just like maybe not have anybody to go with, or just afraid to go to this type of things by themselves?
Well, it's 2 different communities when you talk about the swinger community and the BDSM and the kink community. So as a single woman, you're like the ultimate prize. They call single women unicorns in the lifestyle. Everybody wants a single woman. Every guy, every girl, every couple, they want a single woman. So they're considered unicorns. They're usually free to get in most events, and they encourage single women to come to these events. Single guys, on the other hand, it's one day out the week you can go. You pay triple the amount of money to get in, and there's a limit to the amount of single guys they let into their parties. But a single guy could be considered a bull, because you have couples that are cuckold couples that want to add a guy to their bring a guy to the bedroom and humiliate the wife in front of the husband. So that would be considered a bull. So there's the avenue for single man or woman everywhere. When it comes to the kink community, it's kind of you can come as a voyeur just to watch, or you can come to participate. But either way, you're going to get vetted So they're going to see what your skill level is, what you have been exposed to. And if you need a mentor while you're at one of the events, sometimes a lot of events provide that. So somebody can walk you through what's going on. So you're not just sitting there and you're just overwhelmed. You have no idea what is going on. This is a lot of times why when I do my demonstrations, I explain a lot to new people. Hey, if you see anything you're uncomfortable with, wait until the end and ask me a question. Everything here is safe, sound, and consensual. A lot of people might come in and see me spanking a girl and she's screaming, and they're like, oh shit, somebody called the cops. If I didn't get to explain that, hey, listen, she has a safe word. She controls everything that I do. So educating yourself. You know, that's why a lot of people, like, they have the vetting process before a single person or a newbie comes to any of the events, whether it's the swinger event or it's a BDSM event.
So my last question is, for couples that like, is there normally like a lot of cheating within this community? Because I feel like if you're kind of opening up your relationship to include other people, like, is there jealousy? Like, what type of problems do you normally see that come up?
Well, the whole thing is based around trust. We shouldn't, if I'm with a partner, we shouldn't be venturing into the lifestyle if we don't have that foundation of trust and that understanding on what our rules are, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. People cheat. I don't care. We're in this open lifestyle and people still cheat. People still creep off. People still do. And it's crazy because you can have a significant other that is 100% okay with you having sex with other women. All you have to do is communicate with her and tell them. And people will still not do that. That's just human nature sometimes. You know, some people just, they just can't help themselves. So, and for anybody that's interested or planning on getting in, make sure that you're not doing it to save your relationship. Make sure that it's something to enhance the sexual part of your relationship. You know, a lot of people, you know, they might want to get in it because they see that their partner is going to cheat, if they're not pleasing their partner fully, whatever. You have to have home base 100%, 120% secure and good before you venture off into the lifestyle, or you're not going to have a good experience. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do it because you're not pleasing me. I need to figure out how we need to get to a state to where we're pleasing each other consistently. And then we add something else. We don't need to add something else if home is not right.
Gotcha. Well, Leezus, sensual sadist, dominant. You travel, you have an event that you have every Thursday called Pizza and Porn. You also do bachelorette parties and all types of stuff. So just kind of let everyone know the services that you offer and how to contact you.
I have a question about pizza and porn, please. I need more details. What does pizza and porn consist of?
So Pizza and Porn was an event that I set up as a sip and mingle for people that are interested in the lifestyle, BDSM, swinger, poly, any type of alternative lifestyle. People can come and be around like-minded people. I have porn on and I do unlimited pizza. So that's kind of just to sit, watch some porn, eat some pizza, and be able to converse with like-minded people and educated people in the different lifestyle communities, whether it's BDSM, swinger, poly, just a flat-out kink community. So I kind of set that up as just like a sip and mingle every Thursday. Then I started adding the live demonstration. Just, you know, competing with other people, doing events and stuff. I thought, what can I add that nobody in the area can actually compete with? You know what? I'll do a live demonstration along with the sip and mingle. And once I did that, it kind of took off into a whole completely different level. So people started requesting pizza and porn in different areas and stuff like that. And I've been having a packed house every Thursday, like I said, since September. But yeah, I do the BDSM demonstration. I do sensory play. I do impact play, I do electric play, and I do erotic asphyxiation. And I introduce 95% of the crowd. This is their first time ever seeing anything like this in person, outside of watching the 50 Shades of Grey movie. So,
what do you do for your day-to-day normal job? Like, you know, when you're not Batman.
I'm in a mental health field. I'm a program supervisor at an inpatient facility that houses adults with schizophrenia.
Well,
I've been a behavioral health specialist for about 12, 15 years.
Well, you mentioned a lot of different things, and we honestly, just from you saying the words, we wouldn't have known exactly what it means. But you know, luckily we're in your close friends.
Yes.
So if anybody wants like a visual of some of the things you're talking about, a visual of your pizza and porn event, they should definitely follow you at L_Leezus. That's L_EEZUS, and hopefully you'll accept them into your close friends.
Yeah, just also if you tell me that you got the information from the show, I have private content that I can send exclusively for your listeners. I have private content set aside exclusively for your listeners.
I like that. So just y'all need to DM him and mention the word Chit Chat, and then y'all will get that exclusive.
Yes, and it's exclusive. I've seen it.
Well, Leezus, we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on and introducing us vanilla people to the BDSM community, and we gotta have you back on because I'm sure we're gonna have some followers that want to have some additional questions, and hopefully once we have a live show we can have you come live and answer some questions and maybe do a little live demo.
Definitely. Nice to meet you.
I would definitely love to come down there and do a live demo.
All right,
thanks
so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all having me.